Hey everyone, it's the Jokester here, back for another video, and today I'm going to do a review for Horizon Zero Dawn. I've been playing this game for the last couple of weeks, and I just beat it last night. I got the Platinum Trophy, and wow, what a ride. The game is just really, really good. Like, all the reviews and everything that people are saying about the game, it's true. A couple of years ago when the game was first shown, first unveiled, I mean, from the moment I saw it, I was pretty much hooked. I mean, I was excited. I wanted to get this game. I wanted to play it. I was interested in it. Now, fast forward, these few years later, and the game is just fantastic. I mean, from the beautiful world to the unique characters to the story to the graphics, it's just such a great game, and the game is just so well polished. There's next to no graphical or technical issues at all in this game. There's no frame rate slowdowns. I mean, even the saving is super fast. You save in like 1 second and you're already playing again. Load up isn't terribly long. The only time you really have load times is when you fast travel and when the big quests are happening. There's lots of destruction and things going on. The game doesn't slow down. It doesn't skip a beat. I mean, if there are some technical things, they're so small and minor, and not to mention that, but they've come out with patches, 2 or 3 patches already to fix what little problems there are there, and there's really no problems at all. And I'm just surprised that a modern video game that came out in 2017 has come out and it's a complete, finished game that doesn't need DLC or a season pass to get the full story. I mean, what we see 9 times out of 10 these days is a game will be announced, and as soon as it's announced, there's already a season pass, or there's a gold deluxe edition or something like that, and it has all this other DLC or story packs and all this other stuff, and they nickel and dime you when you haven't even got the game. You don't even know anything about the game. Horizon came out on release and there was no season pass. They didn't do the season pass pre-announcement where you can pre-order on the PlayStation Store and get some dynamic theme, blah, 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 blah. There was nothing like that at all. And that's amazing. That's amazing to see. That fact alone is enough to give the game like a 5-star review. That's enough to say, okay, well, it gets 10 out of 10, we're done here. Because other games don't do that. Look at EA, how they're handling Mass Effect Andromeda. There's all kinds of problems people have been saying with that game, and it's not even out, and they're already nickel and diming you with Deluxe Edition and Gold Edition and all this other edition. Same thing with the new Shadow of War game that WB announced. That's the staple, the common thing that they do with games today, and it's refreshing to see a game come out that doesn't do that, and it's actually a well-crafted, well-made game. They just announced that Horizon is going to get an expansion pack, and it's going to get some DLC, but that DLC content's going to be made now, later. Not during the game's creation, not, while the game was being made, not cut content, new content. And that's awesome. But it doesn't stop there. The story of this game is truly one of the best stories I think I've had the pleasure of playing. It kind of starts out, about a story of a girl trying to, find her place in the world, trying to make a place for herself, to get stronger, to be accepted. And, we can all relate to that. We all want to be accepted. We all want to be noticed. We all want to be appreciated. We all want to be loved. And it starts like that, and out of nowhere, the story just explodes. Like, the plot points are dropping, and the bombs are exploding left and right, and you're like, wow. I mean, this story gets really good, really interesting, really, serious, really complex, really deep. You start to find all these notes and audio files and things left behind by, the ancient world, and you try to figure out how the main character Alloy fits into it all. And the payoff is well worth it, because what you find out is really, really interesting and really, really crazy. It just makes you go, wow. Like, this is some serious stuff. They really put some thought into the story. This is really, really good. And we live in a world where, like, modern RPGs, open world RPGs are coming out left and right all the time. So it's hard for a new IP created by a studio who never made an open world RPG before. The only games they really were known for was the Killzone games, and the last few Killzone games haven't really been good. So for Guerrilla Games to come out with an open world RPG that has totally knocked it out of the park, when other studios who've been making open world RPGs for a long, long time can't get it right, is just outstanding. Because this game could have went the other way. It could have been a flop, but it didn't. It came out to be a well-polished, well-crafted, story-written game. And it blows me away how good this game is. How well worth your $60 this game is. There is not enough good things I could say about this game to convince people to buy it. You should just buy it. Redbox it. Gamefly it. Whatever you have to do. Try this game, because it's really, really great. The story is its selling part. After playing Final Fantasy 15, which I haven't even finished. I stopped Final Fantasy 15 to play this game. This game made me want to finish it, because the story was so good. It pulled me in. It sucked me in. I wanted to know more. I wanted to find out the truth, the secret of what happened to this world, what caused this machine, desolate, apocalyptic kind of world where everybody is like tribal now, and the ancient world that the modern world fell. And I had to know. There was a point in the game where you're collecting audio files. There's these vantage points spread throughout the world, and you can go to them and you can get audio files and read information. And once you collect all of them throughout the game and you read all of them in the order, it tells a story. And the story was just so sad, so touching, so moving that it made me cry, because it was really, really well written. And the voice cast for all the characters is really, really great. They got great voice actors to do the parts of these characters. And there are no boring NPCs, no boring side fetch quests, none of that. All the quests in this game are interesting. All the quests in this game are good. In most games, they load you up with tons of quests. They say, oh, we got hundreds of quests in our games. But all those quests are fetch quests, and they're boring. They're go kill 2 alligators and come back with the item, and here's your crappy little treasure that don't matter. Horizon doesn't have that. It doesn't overload you with tons of side quests and tons of missions. It gives you, quests and missions and things that you actually care about. They're actually interesting. And it's really, really good. Now, the game does kind of play it safe with combat and the RPG mechanics and the skill systems. You're not going to find anything that truly blows you away or that's totally amazing when it comes to the combat. It's mostly kind of a stealth action combat, and then hitting the enemy's weak points in order to break off parts to make them easier to kill. And that's probably about as interesting as the combat gets. I think in a sequel or maybe with DLC or anything that may come out in the future, it will get better. Just how, Uncharted 1, it started off simple and then the combat and the gameplay got better as the series continues. As Horizon continues as a series, if it does, the gameplay, the combat, the RPG mechanics, the skill systems, it will all get better. It will only get better as time goes on. If Guerrilla Games keeps at this steam and, keeps, knocking it out of the park like they did with Horizon, they can truly be known as one of the great modern RPG, developers. I kind of hold this game up there with The Witcher 3 because everybody says Wild Hunt was really, really good game, and CG Project Red really did a love letter to the fans when they made that game with the free DLC and the season pass that was just worth the money. And just Horizon is that good. It is a complete game. It is a solid game. You're not going to be disappointed playing it. So I have to give Horizon Zero Dawn a 9.5 out of 10 because the game is just that good. There are no other game that you're going to play that has come out, recently that's going to be that complete on release. And it's nice to see that we get that in a game these days. So I definitely recommend you pick it up, rent it, play it, borrow it from a friend. It's a really great game, and it's a really good start to a new IP that I hope has a strong future because it's one of my favorite games, and I'm truly glad and happy that I didn't just buy it, but I paid for the collector's edition. It's way better than Final Fantasy 15 in my opinion, way better. And honestly, if you had to put $60 down on a game and you had a choice between Final Fantasy 15 and Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm telling you, get Horizon. It's a much better game, and you'll have a much better enjoyable experience, especially if you're looking for something that has a good story. So until next time, this is the Jokester signing out. See ya.